text 220, chapter 4, Madhya Leela, and then I think, as per advised, you need to continue till 246 or 245.
I don't know. Is this from text 220?
Yes, 220 till 246, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
23 seems to be having a purpose. Okay.
Yes, so as we advised, this is all as of now are the names of the Lord. So we're going till 240. 246. Yeah. Okay, I'll go through till 246. यार मध्ये करो है अवतार गणना ऐसे विष्णु त्रिविक्रमा नरसिंह भावना. Of these forms, some are considered incarnations. Examples are Lord Vishnu, Lord Trivikrama, Lord Nrsimha, and Lord Vamana. Astradriti Veda Nama Vedera Karana Chakradidharana Veda Suna Sanatana. My dear Sanatana, just hear from me as I tell you how the different Vishnu Murtis hold their weapons, beginning with the disc, and how they are named differently according to the placement of their weapons in their hands. Dakshinadha Hastahaye Vamadha Prayanta Chakradi Astra Dharana Gananara Anta. The procedure of counting begins with the lower right hand and goes to the upper right hand, the upper left hand, and the lower left hand. Lord Vishnu is named according to the order of the weapons he holds in his hand. Text 223. Siddhartha Samhita Kare Chabisha Murti Ganana Taramate Kahi Age Chakradi Dharana. According to Siddhartha Samhita, there are 24 forms of Lord Vishnu. First, I shall describe, according to the opinion of that book, the location of the weapons beginning with the disc. Text 224. Vasudeva Gada Shankha Chakra Padma Dhara Shankarsana Gada Shankha Padma Chakra Kara. In his lower right hand, Lord Vasudeva holds a club. In the upper right hand, a console. In the upper left hand, a disc. And in the lower left hand, a lotus flower. In his lower right hand, Shankarsana holds a club. In his upper right hand, a console. In his upper left hand, a lotus flower. And in his lower left hand, a disc. Pradyumna Chakra Sankha Gada Padma Dhara Aniruddha Chakra Gada Shankha Padma Kara. Pradyumna holds the disc, conch, club, and lotus. Aniruddha holds the disc, club, conch, and lotus. Parobhyama Vasudev Devadi Nija Nija Astradhara Taramata Kahiye Shavastrakara. Thus, in the spiritual sky, the expansions headed by Vasudeva hold weapons in their own respective order. I am repeating the opinion of Siddhartha Samhita in describing them. Sri Keshava Padma Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Narayana Shankha Padma Gada Chakra Dhara. Lord Keshava holds the lotus, conch, disc, club. Lord Narayana holds the conch, lotus, club, and disc. Sri Madhava Gada Chakra Sankha Padma Kara Sri Govinda Chakra Gada Padma Shankha Dhara. Lord Madhava holds the club, the disc, conch, and lotus. Lord Govinda holds the disc, club, lotus, and conch. Vishnumurti Gada Padma Shankha Chakra Kara Madhusudana Chakra Shankha Padma Gadadhara. Lord Vishnu holds the club, the lotus, conch, and disc. Lord Madhusudana holds the disc, conch, lotus, and club. Trivikrama Padma Gada Chakra Shankha Kara Srivamana Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Dhara. Lord Trivikrama holds the lotus, club, disc, and conch. Lord Vamana holds the conch, disc, club, and lotus. Sridhara Padma Chakra Gada Shankha Kara Rishikesha Gada Chakra Padma Shankha Dhara. Lord Sridhara holds the lotus desk club and conch. Lord Rishikesha holds the club, desk, lotus, and conch. Padmanava Shankha Padma Chakra Gadakara Damodara Padma Chakra Gada Shankha Dhara. Lord Padmanabha holds the conch, lotus, disc, and club. Lord Damodar holds the lotus, disc, club, and conch. Purushottama Chakra Padma Shankha Gadadhara Sri Achyuta Gada Padma Chakra Shankha Dhara. Lord Purushottama holds the disc, lotus, conch, and club. Lord Achyuta holds the club, lotus, disc, and conch. Shri Narasimha Chakra Padma Gada Shankha Dhara Janardana Padma Chakra Shankha Gada Kara. Lord Narasimha holds the disc, lotus, club, and conch. Lord Janardana holds the lotus, disc, conch, and club. Shri Hari Shri Hari Sankha Chakra Padma Gada Kara Shri Krishna Sankha Gada Padma Chakra Kara. Shri Hari holds the conch, disc, lotus, and club. Lord Shri Krishna holds the conch, club, lotus, and disc. Adokshaja Padma Gada Shankha Chakra Kara Upendra Shankha Gada Chakra Padma Kara. Lord Adokshaja holds the lotus, club, conch, and disc. Lord Upendra holds the conch, club, disc, and lotus. Haya Shirsha Pancharatre Kahe Sola Jana Taramate Kahi Ebe Chakradi Dharana. According to the Hayashira Pancharatra, there are 16 personalities. I shall now describe that opinion of how they hold the weapons. Keshava Vede Padma Shankha Gada Chakra Dhara Madhava Vede Chakra Gada Shankha Padma Kara. Kesava is described differently as holding lotus, conch, club, and disc, and Madhava is described as holding the disc, club, conch, and the lotus in his hands. Narayana Vede Nana Astra Veda Dhara इत्यादि के वेद ए सवस्त्र kara. According to the High Shirsha Pancharatra, Narayana and others are also presented differently as holding the weapons in different hands. Swayam Bhagavan Aralila Purushottama Edui Namadhare Brajendra Nandana. Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, indicated as the son of Maharaj Nanda, has two names. One is Swayam Bhagavan and other is Lila Purushottama. Puriravat Avarena Rupe Purira Navadesha Navabhyo Rupe Nava Murti Prakashe. Lord Krishna personally surrounds Dwarikapuri as its protector in different parts of the city in 9 places. चत्वारो वासुदेवाय नारायण नरसिंहकौ हयोग्रीवौ महाक्रोधो ब्रह्मचेति नवोदितो. The 9 personalities mentioned are Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Narayana, Narasimha, Hayagriva, Varaha, and Brahma. Prakasha Vilase Sei Kainu Vivarana Swamsa Vede Eve Suna Sanatana. I've already described the pastimes and prakasha forms. Now please hear about the different personal expansion. Shankarsana Matsyadika Dviveda Tara Shankarsana Purushavatara Lilavatara Ara. The first personal expansion is Sankarshan, and the other expansions other are incarnations like fish incarnation. Shankarsana is an expansion of the Purusha or Vishnu. The incarnations such as Matsya, the fish incarnation, appear in different yugas for specific pastimes. So, yeah, two more. अवतार है कृष्णेर षडविध प्रकाश पुरुषावतार एक लीलावतार आर. There are 6 types of incarnations avatars of Krishna. One includes the incarnation of Vishnu, Purusha Avatar, and other includes the incarnations meant for the performance of pastimes, Leela Avatar. So read this one, everyone. Alone. Let's repeat. Guna Ara, Manavantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Ara, Shaktavish Avatara, Guna Avatara, Manavantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Shaktavish Avatara, Guna Avatara, Manavantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Shaktavish Avatara, Gunavatara, Manavantara Avatara, Yugavatara, Shaktavishavatara, Gunavatara, Manavantara Avatara, Yugavatara, Shaktavishavatara, Gunavatara, Manavantara Avatara, Yugavatara, Shaktavishavatara, Avatara, Manavantara Avatara, Avatara, Shaktavish Avatara, Gunavatara, Manavantara Avatara, Yugavatara, Shaktavish Avatara. Translation. Masla Prabhupada. These are so there are incarnations that control the material qualities, guna avatars. Incarnations who appear during the reign of each Manvantara avatars. Incarnations in different millenniums, Yuga avatars. And incarnations of empowered living entities, Saptavish avatar. Prabhupada, by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The guna avatars are three: Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. Bhagavatam 10:88-3. The avatars who appear during the reign of each Manu, known as Manavantara avatar, are listed as follows in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 1, 5, and 13. Yajna, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, Vamana, Sarabhoma, Rishabha, Vishwakshena, Dharmashetu, Sudama, Yogeshwara, and Vridhanu. Vridhanu. Altogether, these are 14 in number, and of these, Yajna, Vamana are also counted among the Lila avatars. All these Manavantara incarnations are sometimes called as Vaibhava avatars. The four Yugas avatars are Sukla, white in Satyuga, Bhagavatam 11.5.21, to Rakta, red in Treta Yuga, Bhagavatam 11.5.24, 3 Swayam, dark blue in Dwapara Yuga, Bhagavatam 11.5.27, and 4 generally Krishna, black, but in a special case Pita, yellow, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga, Bhagavatam 11.5.32 and 10.8.13. The Saktavish avatars are categorized into one forms of divine absorptions, Bhagavat Avesha, such as Kapiladev and Rishabhadev, and most uh, Kapiladev and Rishabhadev, and to divinely empowered form Shaktavesha, of whom seven are foremost. One Sheshanag in the Vaikuntha world, empowered for the personal service of the Lord. Shava Shivana Shakti to Anantadeva, empowered to bear all the planets within the universe. Bhudharana Shakti, Lord Brahma, empowered with the energy to create the cosmic manifestation. Srishti Shakti, or Chatushana or Kumar or the Kumaras, especially empowered to distribute the transcendental knowledge. Jnana Shakti. 5. Narada Muni, empowered to distribute the devotional service. Jnana Shakti, 32 Kumara's Jnana Shakti, 5 Narada Muni, empowered to distribute devotional service, Bhakti Shakti, Maharaj Prithu, specially empowered to rule and maintain the living entities, Palana Shakti, and 7 Parshurama, especially empowered to cut down the rocks and demons, Dushta Damana Shakti. ओम ज्ञानतिमनन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरव हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Let's repeat the translation once again. There are incarnations that control the material qualities. Please repeat.
There are incarnations that control the material quality.
Guna avatars.
Guna Avatara,
Incarnations who appear during the reign of each Manu.
incarnations appear during the reign of each man.
Manvantara avatars.
Manvantara Avatara,
Incarnation in different millenniums.
incarnations and
Yuga avatars.
Yuga Avatara,
And incarnations of empowered living entities.
and incarnations of empowered divinity.
Shaktavish avatars.
Satya Avatara.
So in this section, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing Sanatana Goswami about the incarnations. So I think it's a long chapter where he explained earlier about how the expansion happens. So he came from Lord Krishna, how he expanded, and then again more expansion of Leela avatars and Deva avatars. And coming down to here, he says in Vaikuntha lokas, he expands again, and depending upon those four weapons, how Lord holds, the name changes. So four weapons, four different combinations and combinations, and he holds 24 names. And that's how we discussed now about, we read a translation like in which hand what he holds and what his name comes to. And then eventually he goes describing more about, in this last verse, about the uh, six kinds of incarnation primarily. Though Krishna is unlimited and his Krishna's expansion are unlimited, Krishna's the material universe is unlimited, expanded. As many universes, as many Krishna expansions, as many Krishna's pastimes goes on. However, he categorizes some in this primarily into six. He says that Guna avatars, three controller deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha, and then Leela avatars, Purusha avatars, Shakta Vaisha avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yoga avatars. So, especially even in we discussed just a couple of words before, where in one translation he says, even Lord Brahma, here in 242, he says the nine personalities mentioned are Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Narayana, Narsimha, Haya, Griva, Varaha, and Brahma. So how can Brahma? We know that Brahma is incarnations as Gunavataras, but here it explains Brahma as well. So sometimes, if there is no qualified personalities to take the position of Brahma, God appears as Brahma as well. And also Bhagavatam explains even if the Manvantaras, even there is no qualified Manus to reign the world, then Krishna expands to take those positions as well. Right? And especially here he says about Guna avatars, Lila avatars, Manamantar avatars, Saktavish avatars, Yuga avatars. And Yuga avatars is a proper explain that Krishna appears as Krishna or golden form, which is Mahaprabhu. So, especially in Yuga avatars, we'll discuss more on that, where this Kali Yuga. So, we know the four yugas, and that each four yugas has each yuga dharmas. right? In Satya Yuga, used to perform meditation. So the rishis, they used to have a long life, like 1 lakh years, compared to nothing to us. Isn't right now maybe 60, 70, 80, not beyond that, right? So it's very difficult nowadays. So they used to spend many, many years for self-realization with meditation of the Lord. And maybe they would go to uh, forest or Himalayas and then meditate for many, many, many years, right? And then Treta, in Treta Yuga, they started performing huge, huge sacrifices, fire sacrifices. And it's been described that even in those yugas, the yajna, it happens, the Brahmana, they would chant the mantras and the fire would get invited over there. But right now we need different things, maybe lighter or ghee, the butter to ignite the fire. And also, I was hearing sometimes, Papa says that in that fire sacrifice, the kings who would invite the Brahmanas to do the fire sacrifice, all those paraphernalia will be of very, very high quality, and they are all given to Brahmanas back. But nowadays, we reuse as much as possible. We keep it very short, right? And then comes the Dwapara Yuga, where the deity worship was as a Yuga Dharma, elaborately used to perform deity worship. And this Yuga, Kali Yuga, especially Kali Yuga, Lord is our Dharma is Rinama Sankirtana. Kali Kali Namarupi, Krishna Avatar. Krishna has incarnated as is in the form of name. So Krishna's name and Krishna, there is no difference between that, isn't it? So Prabhupada says, like, if you want to drink water and you call out water, 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 nothing happens. Someone has to come to you with a glass of water. And then, even if a glass of water, you have to drink it. And then only your thirst can be quenched. And just by chanting or saying water, 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 nothing going to happen. However, he says, but when we chant Krishna, 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 actually we can feel the presence of Krishna, right? And that's how the best way of self-realization, especially in Kali Yuga, is Harinama Sankirtana. And many people they ask the question that why can't we perform uh, the different ways, other ways to for self-realization, like meditation, and then fire sacrifice or worship. Yes, so these are there even now. Many people, but rare people, they perform. They went to Himalayas and they do self-realization. But in general, it's not possible. It's not recommended as well because if you see, it's hardly someone goes to give up everything, goes to Himalaya for self-realization. But most of the people they are engaged in economic development and those all the things. That's how it becomes very very difficult to practice that kind of austerity. And even another thing is, at the time the rishis they used to have the lifespan is very huge, like it says Satya Yuga 100,000, and then in his Treta it becomes 10,000, and then Dwapar it's become 1,000 years, and now Kali Yuga is 100 years. So we are taking just one zero out, but the count is very huge, and it's so 100,000 and take out one zero, it becomes 10,000, but the difference is very very huge. So in Kali Yuga, we have very very less time, and that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being so merciful to us, right? And it's especially this Kali Yuga is very special, it's actually. So it's not all the time that when Krishna appears in Dwapara, Mahaprabhu appears in Kali Yuga. It doesn't happen very all the time. Same yugas, right? Maybe Krishna is described that Krishna appears one day of Brahma, and so Mahaprabhu, and coincidence of both is this Kali Yuga. So we can just see that okay, just 5,000 years back Krishna appeared, and 500 years back Mahaprabhu appeared. So these two is very unique, and we are in this very unique Kali Yuga, and we can take shelter of Harinam, which is Mahaprabhu is providing us without any discrimination. There is no qualification required actually. Kunti Devi prays. He says that, "O Lord, even by our highly elevated, education or family or anything, you cannot be known. The only way to know Krishna is by bhakti, right? It doesn't matter if we are very highly qualified, educated, or have very highly aristocratic family. It's not the blockage, or it's not the way to get self-realized. But the only way is to take shelter of Harinam, Kali Kali Namarupe Krishna Avatar. And we hear this verse many times again and again. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalev Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyatha. So Mahaprabhu says, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. So three times, repeating three times, isn't it? It's giving more emphasis that in Kali Yuga, there is no other way, no other way, no other way, but Harinam, 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 isn't it? So describing the different yugas, dharmas, we see we are in Kali Yuga and we have to practice more about what we can perform in general. So going to Himalayas, giving up whatever we have, it's not so easy. And Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita as well, where Krishna explained that to Arjuna, that you are Kshatriya and you are supposed to fight. And if you go away from the battlefield and go to forest, it's not suitable, right? In the similar way, context Prabhupada says that if we want to give up the conditioned life we are, and we go and take different ashram. However, if our senses are not purified, it means we are pretender. We are actually trying to do something, pretending to do something, but actually internally we are not qualified yet, or internally we are not on that position yet. Right. So it's very important to purify our own self to take the next step. And the purification happens by Shravanam Kirtanam. Right. So just by hearing Krishna's glories, Sri Sri Kunata Mayapur Shashi Ki Jai. So the purification of this uh, conditioned soul is possible by hearing regularly Krishna Katha, right? By hearing regularly Krishna Katha and Krishna's Nam. So it also describes that how can we in this Kali Yuga understand Krishna's form. So if you see here, we saw 24 incarnation of Vishnu, and depending upon the weapons, he holds different names. But how can we perceive those names? How can we understand about their uniqueness? Right? Many times we see that in general Kali Yuga, people, get diverted to something else. And we were discussing the other day, Trivarga. So people are generally engaged in dharma, artha, and kama. They forget about the real essence of human life. Mostly, they go towards performing dharma so that they can get some artha, right? Okay, I need to perform this many uh, kind of yagyas to get a good husband, good wife, or good job, or good something. So this is mostly kind of for our own sense gratification. I want to enjoy this because Shastra suggests this and this, so I'll perform it and I'll get it. That's all, right? So we perform dharma to get artha, and then after getting artha, we do kama, dharma, artha, kama. So we enjoy whatever we get there, highly paid job, and then lavish bungalow and things. However, the essential part somehow that we miss it. It's not just about three varga, dharma, artha, kama. There is fourth as well, which is liberation. And Prabhupada explains that the cycle of dharma, artha, kama goes on and on and on and on. And once the person gets frustrated, that's, oh, it's happening again and again. One desire gets fulfilled, another is ready. One gets fulfilled, another is again ready. So if you want to get something, we work hard to get it. But as soon as we get it, the what it says, the importance of that thing is minimized now. We got something more, right? I think Prabhupada gives example like, uh, if a person is walking, he thinks sometimes, oh, if I could have a bicycle or bike, I could actually go faster or reach earlier. And then as soon as he get the bike, he thinks about motorbike. Oh, if I would have motorbike, I can go far now. After motorbike, he thinks of, okay, can I have a four wheeler? So I can be very easily driving without any problem of the weather. Is it raining or snowing or cold or whatever it is? And then even if some people they have four wheelers, they still have multiple four wheelers, and new brands comes up every now and then. And then more desire towards having more personal plane. So the point is, the material desire, it's never ending. It goes on and on. People are never ever satisfied. Right? People are never ever satisfied. This is goes on. Dharma, artha, kama. And then someday people get frustrated from the cycle and then they think about liberation. Right? However, this Bhagavad Dharma is the Panchapurusartha. It's again way than the Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Right? Shastra says that even the devotees, they do not anchor for any of his liberation. Even if they are given to them by Lord itself, they also do not accept it. He says what they want the service of the Lord. And but understanding this point, how can we engage ourselves in the service of Lord is very important. That can only be performed by following our shastras, the Yuga Dharmas. So, Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga is taking shelter of Harinam, chanting the holy name, and in a parampara. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita clearly that idam parampara praptim evam rajasya vidu. So this knowledge has been looked, this Vedic knowledge has been gone, but I am establishing it again through Arjuna you. So that's how Krishna gives an importance of parampara. Without parampara, I think I don't remember the words, but it says that without parampara, if you do not take initiation in a parampara and still you're chanting the holy name, it doesn't affect you much as well. And in one of the discussion I was hearing is from Anodi, Nectar of Devotion. It says like some people they say, okay, if this is the name, I want to chant, but I don't want to get a guru, or I have no desire to take diksha. So this is actually a great offense. In one of the verse, I think in CC only, I don't remember, but the verse says that by taking shelter of Harinama or Harinama is enough for our deliverance. The initiation is just a formality more. By taking, by thinking or hearing that verse, it doesn't mean that we don't have to take initiation, right? So the parampara must be there. Right. How can we take this point ahead? The point here comes is that someone who is inclined very well toward the parampara and is getting delayed to get initiation, that's a different case. For him, initiation is a formality. But someone who denies this process, he says, no, I don't want to take initiation. I list of waiting for taking initiation, sometimes 5 6 years. So it means that anyone, the devotees who are aspiring, they don't say, okay, 6 years, I can't wait for 6 years, or I'm not going to take Diksha anymore. It's not that, isn't it? The devotees are committed. As soon as they have accepted the Guru, they are actually chanting holy name under the guidance of the Guru. And then it comes that initiation is formality after that. But it doesn't mean that we should not take initiation or we should not take diksha. Diksha has a very, very important aspect in the process of devotional service. So, by following Yuga Dharma, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, by taking shelter of the Lord, what can we achieve? We can achieve the highest perfection of life. That is our Krishna prema, right? So Golakira prema dana harinama sankirtana. So dhana is kind of money, in one sense of money. So everyone is looking for money, isn't it? But the prema dhana is what? It says the prema or the love and dhana is actually Harinama Sankirtana. So Harinama Sankirtana is coming from the spiritual world to material world just to elevate us, just to take us back to the God, or most importantly, engage ourselves in the service of the Lord. That is more important, isn't it? Any quick questions before we go ahead for discussion? Yes, Prabhu.
After this, we were discussing some devotees about the Shakti Vishwavatar.
Mhm.
And of course, there are so many questions regarding Shakti Vishwavatar. One of them is every empowering entity Shakti Vishwavatar? Or another one is, are you born Shakti Vishwavatar? Or you become Shakti Vishwavatar when you have the question? The other one is, every empowering entity is Shakti Vishwavatar? Or just
Hmm.
powerful entity?
So when we say every empowered living being, so empowered means in what sense?
Well, this is what is written there.
Yeah. So the empowered can be in this context, the empowerment can be different way. So empowerment is to what? Like Prabhupada. So empowerment, Prabhupada is empowered to establish the Yuga Dharma very nicely, isn't it? So we count him as a Sattvavishavataras. Even we see the example of Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha, he comes in incarnation of the Lord, but he is called as Sattvavishavataras because at that time when Lord Buddha appeared, there was an emergency to stop the people from misusing the scriptures, because at that time they would be using scriptures for their sense enjoyment, and that's why he says, no, stop following scriptures, follow me. And so he stopped that. He says, no, reject the scriptures, but he meant it that point of time because people were misusing those scriptures for meat eating. So he says, no, ahimsa is not good. He says ahimsa is parodharma, but the parodharma is what? Parodharma is bhakti, not ahimsa. But at that point, it was needed. So Lord Buddha is counted as Sattvavishavataras. But every empowered person, like if you see the people, some are very intelligent, you can say they are empowered. But are they propagating the real essence of bhakti? I mean, it's my understanding. If not, then we can't count them as an incarnation of the Lord, at least. Yeah, they might be empowered, but we can't count them as incarnations of the Lord. The incarnation of the Lord is, let's say, our gurus. The gurus, they are also, they are in the parampara. And then what they say, they teach us about the real essence of life. Our gurus or Prabhupada never diverted anyone towards materialistic way of life. He says the essence point is that even though we should not give up our family life, but essential point of our family life is to be Krishna centric, bring Krishna in the middle, perform devotional service, chant the holy name. So in that way, if someone is, I mean, if someone is properly, actually, he can be counted as incarnation. He is propagating the real essence of the Lord. Otherwise, I don't think this context says about every empowered person is an incarnation of the Lord. Does it make sense? Yeah, there are a lot of things goes here and there only because we do not follow the shastras as provided, and we just try to go to the Google God, right? Sometimes.
The other question was, So it could be like a Sakya Vaishnava avatar amongst us, like amongst humans, like we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's there's some, if it's a lila avatar or other type of avatar, there are clear signs that there are markings. There are so many things that we can understand. Oh, this is an avatar. And Shakya Vaishnava avatar is very difficult to know because there are no clear signs, unless, like you said, the power of propagating Krishna consciousness, like Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, otherwise very complicated.
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you, bro. And you see, like in Satyuga, Krishna appears in Shukla Varna white. Do you know what is the name of that avatar?
In Satyuga,
Mhm.
I'm not remembering, but definitely I've heard it, but not on top of my mind now. Is it so? There are two avatars of Bhavan and Bara avatars as well in Satyuga. So Pitavara and Nilavara, sometimes called as Svetabara and Raktabara as well. So once he just lifted the earth and once he killed Hinaksha. So that can be there. Uh, but the name, I'm not recalling the name right now.
It's not Kapila there.
In Satyuga,
Hamsa
Hamsa avatar. But especially I'm not remembering the exact name of this. So let's see the purport. I think Prabhupada says that Shukla, I think is referring to Vara avatar. 11.521, actually we can refer to 11.521. Prabhupada says about the verse as well, 11.521. There we can refer it.
According to one source, it'd be a different time of Satyuga than Matsya Kuru.
Mhm.
They are little avatars in Yuga.
Not Yuga avatars. Yeah, they are Lila avatars.
In Bhagavatam, this is 11.521. The translation is: in Satyuga, the Lord is white and four-armed, has matted locks, and wears a garment of tree bark. He carries a black deerskin, a sacred thread, prayer beads, and the rod and water pot of a brahmachari.
So is it Narayan then? Narayan. Okay, we'll try to find them.
And another thing, so in Treta Yuga comes in red.
Avatars. Lord Ram is again Leela avatars. Right? So, but Lord Ram, I have read somewhere it's greenish complexions of Lord Ram. Greenish complexion of so what refers here read is I'm not sure about the name. We can refer to again to 24 verse the same chapter. 11.524.
In Treta Yuga, the Lord appears with a red complexion, his four arms, golden head, and wears a triple belt representing initiation into each of the three Vedas. Embodying the knowledge of worship by sacrificial performance, which is contained in the Rig, Sam, and Yajur Vedas, its symbols are the ladle, spoon, and other implements of sacred.
So it might be, so we see some are kalpa vedas, right? So in different kalpas, so in this kalpa where the Lord Brahma's birth, we can see Lord Ram and Lord Krishna over there. Maybe in different kalpas, some different incarnations have come there through as well. So that can be a possibility as well. Okay.
Yeah, they say that incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like waves in the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult.
Certainly.
Which one?
Yeah. Yes. So essentially, yes, definitely. Essential point is to what can we take and what can we follow right now. So that's our Yuga Dharma, and take shelter of Mahaprabhu and chanting the holy name is especially recommended in this Kali Yuga.
One last question, bro. What is the difference between incarnation and expansion?
Incarnation and expansion. So if you see Bhagavatam, Ete chamcha kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavanaswam. So Krishna expanded. So Krishna expanded into many forms, like in Rasa dance. So Krishna expanded himself as he was. So expansion is kind of, you can say, I mean, the terminology can be used different way as well. So in one sense, expansion is Krishna expanded himself into different. So these both remain the same, right? And but what we are discussing here in that context, expansion is Krishna expanded into Vishnu forms, and then depending upon the conch, this lotus, and the club, the name changes. So one expansion is the more important context what I'm discussing about. One context is Krishna expanded, like Krishna expanded to 16,108 in Dwarika. So all the Krishnas is the same, right? Like in Rasa dancer, Krishna expanded himself, is the same. But in incarnation is again, incarnation literal means is avatar. So who comes? So Krishna comes from the spiritual worlds. So he incarnated. It means what? He existed before and he has just descended here. That's incarnations, as my understanding. That's avatar. So Krishna is taking from Golok Vrindavan, he came to Bhaumalila, to doing Bhaumalila, to in the metal world of Vrindavan. So that's, I could say, as incarnation. Krishna incarnated here, but expansion in his leelas, he expanded as required. That is make sense too. Okay, so I'll stop here today. Any comments? Sri Caritamrta ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Balesvara Ramana Prabhu ki.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.